Good morning. It's Monday, May 12th, the day after Mother's Day. And I hope you all had a great Mother's Day out there with your mothers, your grandmothers, and any other females that qualify. But today I want to talk about something that I have always believed in. And I have believed in this for a very, very long time. And that's the funding associated with people's retirement, Social Security. And the Democrats, a couple of Democrats, have finally decided that they're going to push for an overhaul because the system has been rigged for the rich. And I agree with their premise. I don't agree with exactly the way they want to do things. But I think the cap on Social Security is not really the thing that should be happening. People should pay Social Security on every dollar that they earn. So there's no reason to cap it at $175,000 a year now, and it used to be capped at much less than that. Why shouldn't you pay a Social Security tax on every penny that you earn, instead of giving that tax money to the federal government to piss away, right? So there are many things that are being talked about with respect to the Social Security changes. But we must recognize that Social Security and Medicare protect tens of millions of American senior citizens from poverty and medical bankruptcy each year. But still, it needs to be improved. And economic justice advocates have long said the programs would be strengthened and remain fully solvent for as long as possible if the richest Americans contributed more to those programs. So on Thursday, two Democratic lawmakers introduced legislation to correct the errors, so-called. And I'm not sure they're going about it in the right way, but nevertheless, it has to be done. The system has to be corrected. So they created a bill, the Medicare and Social Security Fair Share Act. And this bill had been reintroduced by Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, a Democrat from Rhode Island, and Brendan Boyle, a Democrat from Pennsylvania. That was with the aim of requiring people with yearly incomes of more than $400,000 to contribute a fair share of their wealth to the troops. Now, I don't know why they're picking on people who make more than $400,000. I think that if they set this system up properly, everybody could pay a fair share. And the limit shouldn't be this $175,000. The limit should be maybe $400,000, maybe $500,000. Pay on every dollar that you earn legitimately. Now, that's a very tricky thing because there are many, many people in this country who have jobs and who get paid in different ways that are not necessarily called salary. There are bonuses. There are lots of other things and other methods of giving people payments so that they can avoid paying taxes and things. And avoiding paying taxes and things is also avoiding paying their fair share into Social Security. So currently, the amount of earnings for which Americans Republicans contribute is just over $176,000. Well, certainly, if you're making a legitimate salary of $250,000 or $500,000, why don't you pay Social Security tax on that amount of money? And they want to increase tax rate for income above $400,000 by 1.2% and include a provision ensuring that owners of hedge fund and private equity firms can no longer avoid Medicare tax. Well, there are so many loopholes in this country that you have to fill. They have to do a good job and work at filling all of those loopholes. What happens if somebody has earnings of, say, $100,000, but they're collecting benefits on investments? Should those be taxes? Possibly. They have to look at the things differently. They're not looking at this thing in a straightforward manner. So White House and Boyle introduced this bill while the Trump administration and congressional Republicans are working to slash Social Security. They want to back billionaire Elon Musk's spending cuts at the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, D-O-G-E. And they want them to run this program. That's ridiculous. You're putting an important thing like this in the wrong hands. Republicans are pushing for a $7 trillion tax giveaway to the ultra-rich. And these guys, these two gentlemen, are working to protect the benefits that millions of Americans have earned. So we can't afford in this country to let billionaires get away with murder. Republicans have also suggested that Medicare should be slashed in order to pay for tax cuts to the wealthiest Americans, and have pushed to expand privatized Medicare Advantage plans so that the people who are wealthy can pay out of their pocket for something that everybody should be paying. It's not right that working class citizens who pay into Social Security and Medicare their whole careers so they can have a dignified retirement end up paying a much larger share of their income in taxes than billionaires because the tax code has been rigged in favor of the rich. Everybody should pay the same percentage. If the percentage is 5% or 7%, then that's what you pay. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. So if we expanded the base that they were collecting this money from, the percentage could even be reduced. If you had to pay taxes on $1 million worth of income, then maybe it would only be 4% or something like that. I agree that something has to be done, but I don't agree necessarily with the methodology that they're using. And there are so many ways that people can hide their money and make their money. And it's all because of the loopholes that we allow to exist in our tax collection laws. So I leave you with that warning. Social Security needs help, and it needs a lot of intelligent thinkers to cover many of the loopholes that exist in our tax codes. Think about it. You're going to get older at some point in time, and it's a very important crisis with Social Security that we are facing right now. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.